What's going on, everybody? Well, I was sitting here just straightening up my little corner and stuff. I put this boat on Marketplace for sale. Actually pretty cheap too for Christmas. 200 bucks, you can have it. And it runs great. 4S capable. So anyway, still got the garage over here. Tires I haven't cleaned yet. I got to clean them, paint the letters. We got ring light on in the bathroom. What's going on there, Greg? Still in the 70s, ain't he? So anyway, got something really cool from Uncle Charlie today. Check this out. And no, it's not a power drill. It's better than that, if you ask me. Booyah! This is a 200-piece socket and wrench set, whatever you want to call it. Pretty dang sweet. I've never used a DeWalt ratchet before, to be honest. But I use DeWalt everything else, power tool wise. It's a pretty nice setup though. She's pretty sweet actually. I think it's a 200 piece. About $1 a socket, or $1 a piece. But she's nice, she's real nice. I like those kind of fit loose, but that's good, I guess. That makes them easier to pull out. So that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, that's awesome. Thanks, Uncle Charlie. He does me good. Sucker's heavy, I'm gonna tell you that. I love DeWalt tools, you know what I mean? I honestly didn't even know they made this socket set like this. They even got hooks all the way around the side so that they don't fold open. So 4 nice latches on that sucker. So alright, that's enough talk about tools. I got to get these Mud Slingers painted up. Now, I did a couple letters the other day again, and then I went out and dirtied them up some more. Now, certain tires, the letters will rub off a lot easier than other tires. You know, it depends on how much they're out there and how the tire is made. But these 2.2 Mud Slingers, theirs are some of my favorite tires, and they're not very tall. They have a lot lower profile than a lot of the 2.2s. I don't know what it is. It's probably more like just over 5 inch instead of 5.3, 5.5, stuff like that. I'd have to look and see exactly what the height is, but they fit this truck perfectly. Ladybug, doodlebug. So let me get them cleaned up, and we're gonna paint some letters real fast and figure out what else to do. So all right, we got them all cleaned up. Now we're gonna paint the letters. As you see, these things are not the prettiest wheels and tires anymore. They've been glued on, and you know, they're just ugly. I would actually pull these off here and put them on the, I got some really nice 2.2 beadlock wheels over there in the corner. They have them axial ripsaw rock bouncer tires, and they're not very good for climbing or nothing. They're not a very soft tire. They look cool though, but they're on some awesome rims, and I would go through that process, but these are glued on. And when I got them, I took one side apart and got in there, fixed all the weights in there, put new foams in, stuff like that, but glued them back on again. So I'd probably destroy these old tires trying to get them off again. So we're just leaving them on here for the rest of their life. But like I say, these things weigh 350 grams. So anyway, the reason I'm cleaning these up, making them look good, putting the white letters back on them, is I'm going to let my buddy use them. He's the one that gave them to me, actually. They had a rip in one. I fixed it, and I fixed the weight a little bit, but they were already like that when I got the heavy part. And anyway, he needed to borrow them back again, and he's actually going to let me borrow the Traxxas tank treads, or whatever you want to call them, the track treads, so I can make a few videos, which is awesome. I'm not sure when we're going to be able to meet up and swap. That way I can make some videos with them, but it's coming soon. And something very interesting I can talk about and tell you, and I'll show you some stuff about it when we make this video. But my mother-in-law, who lives here with me and my wife, she's 83 years old, and her great uncle or grandfather or somebody actually invented the tank tread. They called it the endless wheel, or endless chain, something like that. Endless chain wheel is what it was called back when it was invented. He didn't get the patent or something on it before he died, and so somebody else ended up, you know, making money off of it after he died, obviously. So we're nothing rich or nothing like that. But anyway, we have all the original paperwork and documentation to show you all that in there in her room somewhere. So I'm going to see if she'll pull that out for me on the video where I'm putting them tank treads on here, and we do that. I'm going to show you this paperwork. It's very cool stuff to see. It's just a shame, you know, that things went the way they went back then. This is so many years ago. And, you know, people didn't think about patents and stuff like that back then, you know what I mean? So things just went the way they went. But it's cool that we have these papers that show he invented them. It's very cool. And it's really cool to see the design that's on these papers. I can't wait to show you guys. So anyway, when I get them tank treads, we're going to show you all that stuff. If I don't get those, we'll still show you. Have to have her dig them out. So now, let's go ahead and paint these babies. And again, I mentioned in the last few videos, I finally found my favorite paint marker ever. I've used many different white ones, and I've said before, oh, this is my favorite, and then I find another one, so this is a little better. Well, these so far are better than all. Now, this is the one. This is the ultra fine tip. This is a fine tip. Same paint in each one, and these are both good markers, but obviously the ultra fine tip is the way to go when it comes to what we're doing. The good news is on that, when this one runs out, this marker is actually the exact same marker, and I can take the tip out of there and swap it to there and still run the paint out of that one with the ultra fine tip. So that's pretty cool, you know, that you can do that. So anyway, let me get this baby shook up, ready to go, and start painting on these letters real quick. Let me get one of these painted, and I'll show you how they turn out. Alright, now the first one's usually the roughest, because when you're using a used marker, you gotta get that tip worked again, you know. It's gotta be paint soaking through it and whatever. You can tell over here, this is where I dip my markers all the time, getting the paint right. That's why my garage floor is tore up there. I love this old desk. It looks like a garage floor kind of would if you did the epoxy finish with all the little sprinkles in it. So anyway, so that's that one. And I'm also going to go ahead and paint the rim back up. Originally these were just black around the edge, and I painted them silver with these are kick-ass markers too. They're silver, copper, bronze, whatever you want to call them, metallics. But they just don't have a very fine tip. And I used to use them white ones for all these letters when I first started, with these big funky tips. Certain tires I could get away with, like a Canyon Trail. They have raised letters that stick out there pretty good, so you can work and get it, but it's so much better with this one now. Let me get these finished real fast. Well, one more thing my wife has been getting on me about. Now y'all can make fun of me here in a minute, but the big tires over here, these letters are so worn off, I can barely see where they're at on the rubber. Perfect marker, big tire, still can't see where the crap. I don't wear glasses. Never have. But the other day I realized when I was doing something like this, if I'm back here, I can see it perfect. But it's too far away for me to see it, even though it's clear. I get right here, I get all blurry. Can't see shit no more. So I went in there and got my wife's reading glasses and put them on the other day and started kicking ass. And I was like, oh man, this is not a good sign. And yes, you notice they're in my hand now because I'm fixing to use them again. Laugh all you want. I guarantee that these other three turn out better than this one does because of it. So now, let me finish these real fast. So alright, we got them all painted up. Good news is that I don't really need glasses. I didn't use them. I needed this hat that I just put on my head. That's what I needed. This light, not this hat, dum-dum. I needed this light. I couldn't see. And not only that, but there is... Some of these have no letters left on them where they've rubbed off on the rocks. They're not humped up at all. Where's the good one? Like this one here, I think it was, they stuck up a little bit on it, so I was able to do pretty decent. But most of the other ones, they were kind of just gone. So you just got to ride it and go with it. Like right there, the E, there was no E left. So they still look better when they're going down the road. It looked good on the truck. So, which now I'm going to see about painting the rim a little bit. Get them touched up. Alright, let me show you how good these metallic markers work. There's the beat up one. And all I did was a quick bit around the rim. They do pretty good considering, I mean, it's already going to be scratched and all that. There's nothing you can do about that. But you just brighten her up. And then from back here, she looks good from back here. And I could have used the copper one. I was going to try that around just the rim to see what that looked like, a different color. But nah, that right there looks good. And luckily the center part is already chrome, so it doesn't really need no touching up. You can't really scratch in there very often. So let me go ahead and get these done and start slapping them on there. I need to weigh them to see which two are the heaviest, but they've already had water on them and I've wrung them out, so they're probably all going to weigh different now. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll do the old hand test. This one's definitely heavier than this one. That one too. They're all pretty heavy. So anyway, let me finish these now. Well, alright. We got them all touched up. From a distance, she's photo friendly. That's what we call it. Look real good from the road. Fake chrome over top of real fake chrome on plastic. This is what the paint looks like when it comes out. As you can see, she's shiny. These old paint markers, once they start to get old, you know, you got to push the tip in to pump the paint. Sometimes they'll just pour the paint out. That's why I always do it over here. I let it pour out, and then when I'm needing paint or whatever, next time I don't have to go through and do all that dunk in it. I just use it right there. If I can do that without pulling the hand off. But hey, booyah. So anyway, you see he's got big old tips on them, though. They're not the best for that. But still, you know, instead of having to push it down because it'll pour the paint out once you get it pumped up, I just keep dipping in that puddle when I need it. Saves me from wasting that paint too. So anyway, they're good markers. And I've had these quite some time. Next time them wear off, I think I'll go with copper on the edge, but it's just so much easier to make it. You don't have to be neat or nothing with this one. If it goes on the edge, oh well, you don't even know. So, I think I'm going to wipe the dust off the truck and throw these tires back on it. I was going to let them dry so I could armor all them, make them look real shiny, but I'll do that part tomorrow after they dry real good. So, let me do this. Boom. See there, Thomas? Grandpa still knows magic. I didn't even use any special words. Snapped my fingers and the tires were on. So anyway, I think she looks good with those 2.2 Mud Slingers, don't you guys? Pretty sweet. Looks really nice under the Christmas tree. So, again, when I get these tank tracks from my buddy, I'm also going to try to show you guys this paperwork with the patent that her mother-in-law's great ancestor designed, the endless tank track tire wheel, whatever they call it. Endless chain wheel, that's what it was called. Something like that. But anyway, you guys are going to dig it. It's pretty cool. And I think we're going to do some testing and tuning with the Angora chassis here. It's actually a pretty good clone knockoff. I ain't going to lie. I like it. I'm looking at them 2-speed transmissions I've seen. You can get a 2-speed transmission for these for like 55 bucks. Comes with a 2-speed transmission and a transfer case separate where you have to run the little shaft, but I like it that way. We might check into that. And you know what else I was looking at? They have a little motor that you get that is supposed to cover your motor in here, and it looks like an LS 5.3 liter or a 6.0 liter GM motor, LS swap. But the thing is, it sits behind that frame bar back here. Why would you want a motor in your truck that sits back here by your cab? Don't you think if you're going to put a motor in here, you'd want one that like covered your servo and covered the front where the motor is? That way, if you cut your hood out and you raise your hood, you got a motor here, not a motor here. I didn't understand that one, but anyway, I just about ordered it too because it's only like $25, and it's like a model kit motor. You got the headers and the heads and all the parts. It comes with cooling fans for your motor. It was actually very cool, but I just don't like where it sits. It didn't seem to make sense to me. They had something that looked like a Chevy 350 for the TRX4 also. I mean, you guys can check them out. You'll see them on Amazon when you're looking at crawler parts, if you see them. But anyway, I think that's about enough rambling. Man, that thing looks sweet. Them white letters just set it off, don't they? Scratches or not, that truck is just awesome. I want to drive it again, but can't tonight. It's almost midnight. So I will catch you guys later. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, peace, everybody.